welcome to Fanfiction. I'm probably using fanfiction. Today's subject is Steven Universe Future. Huzzah! So real quick, subscribe, bell icon on. You guys know what that means. Moving on. So, Steven Universe Future. Let me do a little bit of background for you. So, before Steven Universe, there was the first series, Steven Universe, and then Steven Universe Future was sort of, I don't know what the thing is called, but the future of Steven's life. Yeah. So, Steven Universe is the son of a character named Pink Diamond. Picture of Steven, and then picture of Pink Diamond. So, yes, Pink Diamond's kid is Steven, and he has 3 friends that sort of help raise him up a little bit with his father. His friends are Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl. These 3 help Steven grow, I guess. I'm not quite sure. I haven't watched that series that much. So yeah, that's basically the little bit of principle before that. And the timeline we're doing is Steven Universe Future. It all starts with this movie, Steven Universe the movie, where Spinel enters the playing field. So, just a little bit more depth with the characters. Steven's mom, Pink Diamond, was sort of in charge of this race called the Gems, and Garnet, Amethyst, Pearl, all of his gem friends are aliens, basically. And Steven's mom didn't had a good reputation for helping people. If you've seen the series, you know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of characters that got messed up pretty bad by Pink Diamond. So yeah, let's see. Garnet is a picture of Garnet real quick. So yeah, Garnet is a fusion of 2 gems, a ruby and a sapphire. They fused together, became Garnet. Whole stuff in that I don't really want to get into. So, the second friend, Amethyst, sort of a bit of soldier. I'm not quite sure what the definition of her is, but yes, she's also a friend of Steven's, one of the main friends, I should say. He has a lot, but these are his 3 main ones. Pearl was Pink Diamond's sort of assistant during the time before she died in childbirth, giving Steven life. So, here's a picture of what Steven Universe looks like in this series, I guess. So, this all starts out when Spinel, picture of Spinel, comes in on a injector, picture. So, yeah, she comes in on an injector, and this is where my character comes in. I call him Sapphire Engineer. His race of gems, well, technically is the only one left. He is the only gem capable of opening up a gem intact and rewriting the software inside it. No other gem has this ability except him. And now we get into the story! So, this starts up during the Steven Universe movie, like I said, where Spinel comes in the giant injector. So, during Spinel's travel in space, he's, I'll just call him Engineer for right now. Engineer notices this injector flying towards Earth and knew this was going to be trouble, so he followed to make sure he could fix any damages that might happen. So, Spinel gets there, has her whole fight with Steven and Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl. Meanwhile, Engineer is hiding and trying to figure out what the heck's going on and hopefully figure out how to fix this. But then he sees the factory resetter. Picture that. Spinel kills Steven's friends. They go poof and their gems fall. However, she gets hit and so does Steven. He did not notice Steven's gem got affected though. And due to his natural nature of helping, he quickly rushes over, grabs the gems that fell on the ground, and quickly takes out his weapon, which is a scimitar. All gems have a weapon. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. So he goes up up the injector and takes his scimitar and cuts the injector. He says something very quietly, Steven can't quite hear it, and then all of a sudden the fluids from the injector come back in, and then the injector just turns off. Very strange. So, now, Engineer is hiding up on the top, cutting open spinels and starting to rewrite, fixing whatever damages happened with the factory reset. So, Steven has a bit of a dilemma. He needs to get his friends, so he tries using his powers. Doesn't work because the resetter did something weird to his gem. However, your engineer, like I said, doesn't know this, so he has to go and find his friends to help him. But before then, an engineer managed to fix Spinel very quickly because it just seemed very easily to him. He closed the gem, threw it out, and Spinel reformed and joined Steven to get the friends. Then, so yes, he continues to work. He starts working on the amethyst gem and starts rewriting, but then he's starting hearing other noises coming. He looks above the injector and notices Steven and his horde of friends coming, and now he is very scared because he doesn't usually do conflict. And of course, one person takes a free shot at him, and now he is scared out of his mind and runs. He quickly extends his arms, sort of similar like how Spinel is very taffy-like. However, he can only extend his arms and legs. That's about all he can do with that. So he quickly extends away and tries to quickly work on the gem quicker than he was previously. And of course, everyone's following after him, trying to get Steven and the gems back. He finally finishes after hiding behind a pillar after everyone's still trying to find him. He snaps it closed and throws it out to give him a distraction to run away and work on the next gem. Amethyst respawns, and Steven sort of fills her in that this strange gem came in and stole everyone's gems, and he has no idea what's going on. Peridot looks a little confused. She seems to be remembering something about this weird character, but she doesn't know what. But she doesn't remember, and they continue. So Sapphire takes out Pearl's gem. He cuts it open, starts rewriting, fixing all the damages, so restoring memories, all that. He hides in a fun house to make sure no one else sees him. And, well, more or less. It's a little hard. He's pretty much running scared at this point. So, they come in and trying to find him. He just finished Pearl's and snaps it closed and throws it out. Pearl respawns and they reunite with Steven, and he explains what's going on with her, and they continue. Peridot, here's a picture of Peridot if you're a little confused who I'm talking about. So yeah, she's still trying to remember who the heck this guy is. She knows him somehow, but he doesn't know how. It's also kind of strange because all gems, well, the alien gems are female, but this one's a guy. And this is very unusual. The only exception to this case was Steven. And that's all. So, they continue on. Now, the hardest part for her, Sapphire realized, is he has 2 gems, and he has to figure out how to fix the fusion problem. So he's pretty much having to take on the difficult challenge of fixing Garnet. He cuts up gems and starts rewriting. He dashes away, and he is running out of very little options. He gets to Jim's house. Here's a picture of that. Yeah, so he gets into the house, and he's desperately trying to rewrite this, but there's so many lines he has to get through. And finally, Steven and the friends come in, like, demanding. I'm just gonna call him Sapphire. Engineer's too hard to remember. So Sapphire, like, they tell him, give him back at Garnet, and that's not happening because he hasn't finished yet. He's slowly backing up, and then realizes there's a teleport behind him. So he quickly jumps on that and teleports away. Hey, Steven can't track him, no one else can, and Peridot is almost remembering, but she still, like, cannot remember. It's like on the tip of her tongue. So, Sapphire teleports away. He still works on it as he's teleporting. And like he got Sapphire done, but he's not done with Ruby yet. He comes into this dark room, has no idea where he is, so he opens up the door, and then he sees one of his worst nightmares come to life. The diamonds. White, blue, and yellow. He realizes this is a huge mistake and quickly teleports away. And the diamonds recognized him immediately and started taking off to follow him as they know he went to Earth. So, Sapphire finally comes back into his ship where he has an in-bed teleporter and got confused why on earth it didn't work. So he kept rewriting, and now his ship tells him, "We are surrounded, sir." So he looks outside and everyone is surrounding him and he cannot do anything about it. He just finally finished Ruby, but he realized something was missing. He needed a connector to be able to have the fusion work. So he quickly grabs something out of his ship, jams it between the two gems, closes it, and throws it out, and Garnet comes back. Everyone's so relieved, but Steven's still wanting a little bit of payback for him stealing the gems. He comes over, and he watches Garnet for a second, and being relieved that she's okay. But then Sapphire realizes something. He missed one gem, Steven's. And it's still infected, but he can't tell why. He realizes he's a hybrid. If you don't know what a hybrid is, interlocking of species, he figured Steven was human and also a bit of gem. So he takes out his scimitar and plunges it into Steven's belly area here and takes out the gem. Steven is frightened and furious by this because this happened one other time with White Diamond. In the old Steven universe, but never mind. So, yes. He grabs the gem, and Steven is mad and starts going at him. And everyone else knows Steven's in trouble, so they immediately follow, because he let out a huge yell. So, quickly, Sapphire told the ship to teleport him somewhere, anywhere but here. Here and the gem world. They disappeared, but Steven took a little ride with them. Everyone is panicking because Steven's gone, this stranger's gone, but then Peridot remembers who the heck this guy is. She remembers that Sapphire worked on her gem when she was a child, giving her the ability she has now. But it was too late because he just teleported away. And they're just panicking, and the diamonds finally come. They sit down, and then they tell that Sapphire's a fugitive, and the reason so is because he had killed his own kind. More on that a little bit. So, we go back to Steven and Sapphire. They just is teleported into some random desert. Steven is trying to get him, but then his head hits a rock that appears in the sand and knocks him out cold. He has a little bit of a head wound. Sapphire is panting because he is so terrified with everything that just happened. But they realize Steven's hurt. So he quickly grabs him and takes him by this nearby cave you noticed. He puts him down, bandages his head, and takes out his dagger and starts cutting. But it's a lot tougher than he thought it was going to be. So he keeps cutting, but then he notices something moving inside the gem. And this is very interesting because he wasn't expecting to find anything in here until he realized it was Pink Diamond's original gem. And he worked on it a little bit, but not that much. So he realized there's something really bad in here and he has to take this outside or Steven's going to get hurt even more than he was. So he goes outside and slowly cuts open in Steven's gem. All of a sudden this huge crystal dragon pops out of the gem. And here's a picture for reference because there's a huge thing about corrupt Steven and this I'm sort of tying in a little bit. So, crystal dragon pops out magically. And so of course there's this little blue man versus giant dragon. So of course Sapphire starts to run. And he takes out more scimitars and starts throwing it at the dragon. Seems to do nothing. But Sapphire has a plan. He throws it in these exact spots because he learned a little bit of acupuncture along the way. And finally manages to paralyze it after throwing almost 100 daggers. Or a scimitar, sorry. That. So, the Beast is finally paralyzed, and now he can finally start working on Steven's gem. However, Steven finally woke up from his little coma, and of course he's a little delirious, but also realized his gem was cut open, and he's like, "Stop, you're hurting my gem, that's not good." And Sapphire's trying to calm him down and tell him, "I'm not doing anything wrong, I'm just trying to fix this gem. And we got hit by a factory reset, and I need to do it before it does even further damages." And of course, Steven being a little bit delirious and also a little bit angry, still doesn't refuse it, but Sapphire works on his gem anyway. Finally, Steven finally gets full consciousness and starts to understand what Sapphire has been trying to tell him this whole time, where he's fixing his gem, not hurting it in the slightest. The same thing with his friends, like he was just been trying to be helpful. He fixes the first part of Steven's where he has his normal abilities. However, he realized there's the second half, an untold half that he never got to. So he starts working on that, fixes these emotional problems in the emotional flaws in the crystal, in the gem, where he quickly fixes this so he has more control over this, but he won't be Pink Steven anymore, basically. He finally fixes his gem, and does the final slash, and it doesn't seem to work. Then he realizes he has one last problem he has to deal with. He has to put the crystal dragon back into the gem, because that's what's required to work. And during this time, while he was fixing it, Sapphire told him I was trying to fix everything, and he also promised he would get Steven back home because it was sort of his fault getting them lost in the desert. So, he told Steven to follow him to the giant crystal dragon, explained this came out of his gem. Steven's still confused, but cooperative. So, Sapphire places the crystal right on the dragon's face, and then tells Steven to pull out one dagger. Steven does so, and the dragon finally starts moving. But he quickly pushes the dragon into the gem and closes it before it does damage. And it finally resealed and threw back Steven's gem and fused back together. So, now he has to keep his part about getting him home. So, he gets into the cave and starts carving stuff, and Steven's still confused what the heck he's doing. And also, he knew a little bit about, after talking with him, he's a Sapphire engineer where he's the only race that can actually fix gem problems. So he finally finishes carving in this cavern, this little cave inside the cave. So he tells Steven to get in, and he finally does one last scratch, and then all of a sudden it starts to glow. And it teleports him away. Hey, he just finished making a makeshift portal. It's very hard for him. So, he gets back there, and he tells Steven, "I'm gonna be on my way now." But then gems start grabbing him, and he's so confused and scared from all this. It's like Steven's trying to tell him, like, "Don't do it." He was trying to help us, but then, and Pearl tells Steven, like, he killed his own kind. And it's like, and then Sapphire's expression changed from scared to furious rage. He's clutching his hands, trying his best to keep his temperature, really. Keep his cool, sorry. I don't know why I said temperature. So, he's like, "Who told you that?" And then Pearl points out the gems that are standing there where somehow he didn't notice them. And he said, "It's like, that's a lie. I had never, ever killed anyone. I maybe have harmed people, but I've never killed, let alone my own kind." And he said, "It's all your fault. You were the ones that I killed my people." The diamonds are confused, but affirm, saying, "No, you were the one. No, remember? You were the one that killed him." And then he says, "It was all because you wanted me to fix that stupid general." Oh, so he tells them that long ago, when his race was still alive, the gems told him to fix a general that crashed on a planet. So to fix her and give her an upgrade because she deserved it for all the hard work she has done. He did what he was told. He was a very loyal servant to the Diamonds. He fixes it up and sends her on her way, and he starts walking back to his ship knowing he has a lot more stuff to do. However, he gets an SOS call, all from his home, saying a general went berserk, is killing everyone, destroying all the machines. So quickly, Sapphire runs back, seeing the massacre that happened. He couldn't do anything because he was just too late, just a few seconds too late. And the gem turns back and he's terrified and he runs and gets away. And like, the gems are all horrified by this. So are the Diamonds. And they couldn't remember who the heck that general was, so they asked, what general was that? And he's like, you know, your favorite general, Jasper. And that little legion of red boys. So, Jasper, in the group, is hiding because she knows if she moves, she is dead. So, then everyone's just so confused, and then Sapphire, at the corner of his eye, notices Jasper leaving. Then he just snaps. He just, like, breaks off from the people that were holding him, goes over, takes out his scimitar, and starts fighting him with all the rage he's been tensing up for all these years. He's going out, and Jasper isn't usually the one to get afraid. She always loves combat, but this was different. She was terrified, and she kept trying to do everything she could to stop, but then finally, he kills Jasper. Poof. Her gem falls to the ground, and after calming himself down a little bit from this rage fest he just had, he realized he just killed someone in, well, not exactly cold blood, but just killed someone. He just starts breaking down in tears, and Jasper, of course, comes back, but Sapphire is just sitting in a ball, just like, I didn't mean to, no, I didn't want to become them, no. And everyone's just staring at him, not knowing what to do. And that's where I had most of my story come from so far. If you guys want to hear maybe a possible part 2, let me know in the comments, and also what you guys want to hear next. Any movie, TV show, leave it in the comments down below, and I will do some research and give you guys a fanfiction you will like. So, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hopefully will see you guys next time. Bye!